Hello and welcome to another Tabletop Ramblings SBG Battle Report. Today's battle sees Faramir leading his Rangers of Ithilien Legendary Legion against a Chieftain and a Khandish Mordor alliance. At 400 points, the money is definitely on the Rangers of Ithilien, so the Khandish Chieftain is going to have a lot to prove. Challenging the Rangers of Ithilien for supremacy at the 400 point level is this Khandish Chieftain. He is riding to war in his chariot, and he's brought with him a very unorthodox list consisting of simply 2 great beasts of Gorgoth allied in from Mordor. And that is the entirety of this 400 point list of Khand and Mordor. With nothing to prove, it's Faramir leading his Rangers of Ithilien Legendary Legion. Often considered to be overpowered at this low points level, the Legion special rules allows Faramir, Madril, Damrod and the 2 new Forge World Ranger heroes to lead Rangers without contributing to the bow limit. Faramir is riding to war atop his horse. He's modelled there with a shield and heavy armour, but it's not available in this list. So he is in his Ranger armour with bow. He's also got 5 Rangers, 3 with no additional equipment and 2 with spear. And he has a Warrior of Minas Tirith with spear, shield and banner. He's accompanied by Madril, and he has with him 3 Rangers, 2 of whom have spear. There's also a captain on horse with shield and lance. He has 3 Rangers, 2 of whom have spear. And finally, Damrod leading 3 Rangers, 2 who have a spear. And that is 400 points of Rangers of Ithilien. It's not perhaps as optimised as possible for bows, but it does pack a massive punch with a lot of might, and that lance captain, it is going to be devastating on the field. For this game, Faramir will be the good player using green, and the Khandish Chieftain leading the forces of evil will be using the red dice. Today's battle takes place in the forests of Ithilien, the home ground for Faramir's Legendary Legion. The scenario, as you might have guessed from the setup, is Storm the Camp. Each force deploys in their camp 12 inches into a corner, and the objective is quite simple: smash through your opponent and reach your opponent's camp while keeping yours free from enemy forces. The victory points are quite simple and are weighted towards that key objective of the camps. You get 3 victory points if you're able to take your opponent's camp, and that is 6 victory points if you take your opponent's camp but yours is not taken. Taking a campsite is as simple or as difficult as having more models within the opponent's campsite than they do. You also claim victory points for wounding the enemy leader and killing them. That's 1 for wounding and 3 for killing. And if you break your opponent, you get 1 victory point and 3 if you break them while remaining unbroken. So with the board set and the forces deployed, we'll go straight into turn 1 priority. First turn priority goes to good. End of the movement phase. This is how the board is looking. The Rangers of Ithilien have pushed out of their camp. They've all moved full, as nothing would have been in range. Madril has gone for the bottom, while the captain is trying to take the top, just to try and split the rather bulky forces of Khand Mordor. They know that the evil forces, while quite powerful and their lethal trample, they're unable to be everywhere at once. So a spread out force is more vulnerable, but it's also more likely to take the enemy camp. The unwieldy beasts that have to move their full move in a straight line have just ploughed forward, looking for easy lines. They're able to pivot at the start of their move, but other than that, they have to move full. The chieftain in his chariot has a similar form of movement. He moves 3, then he can pivot 45 degrees, move again, and pivot again, and he has a total of 10-inch move. And this then is where they have ended up just moving forward and starting to try and get some clear lines for movement and for shooting. Turn 2 priority again goes to the Rangers of Ithilien. End of the move phase, and it doesn't look like the Rangers of Ithilien have moved at all. That's because they've all just moved 3, keeping that nice big arc so that they will be able to fire on the approaching Khand Mordor alliance. The captain up at the top there has stayed still. He didn't want to take on a chieftain and a full great beast of Gorgoth by himself, so he is biding his time. In Evil's move, the great beast on this side has pivoted and come through the gap in the trees to try and contest the centre and bottom. And then the top great beast has just pivoted and come to the centre as well. He's not really advanced towards the enemy camp, but having to move full does mean that a zigzag approach is often required with the great beasts. The Chariot Chieftain has just formed up behind the great beast. After movement, it's now the moment of truth as the Rangers of Ithilien lead into the shoot phase with a deadly volley. Start of the shoot phase, and Madril and his 3 Rangers are all going to shoot the great beast up there. I've chosen that one because every archer in the force will be able to target that one with either a clear shot or one in the way. If they were to go for the other one, some wouldn't be able to target it as easily, and they want to concentrate all their fire on one beast. They've moved, so they're hitting on 4s. Madril, of course, is the bigger dice. Ooh, 2 hits. But Madril's isn't one of them. Oh, 6. So it's 6s by 4s to wound this Defense 7 beast. No, very close there to getting a first volley wound. Then these 5 on the great beast. They've moved, so again looking for 4s. Oh, that is atrocious! Not a single hit. Oh dear. Next, we come across to Damrod and his 3. They do have an in the way for those trees there. So that is 3. Just get rid of these. And then Damrod in the bigger dice. 4s to hit. That's not very good either. One of them is Damrod, so that's mightable. Do they get through the in the way? No. No, they both hit the tree. Oh dear, Rangers. This is not going as expected. Would have thought there'd be at least some wounds by now. 3 there. They have clean shots on the great beast. So we'll roll there. 3. 4s to hit. Just 1. Can this be a big juicy 6? No. That 4 needs to come after a 6. So that does nothing to the beast. Then the only other shot is Faramir. Faramir is going to try the same shot. He will have an in the way for the statue, but he misses on a 1. Dear me, Rangers. They are at the furthest point of their range, so hopefully when the beasts get a bit closer, they'll be easier to hit. Although, if Rangers can't hit those massive big beasts, they might be in a little bit of trouble here. And speaking of beasts, it's now their turn to fire. Because bizarrely, despite having 3 models in the force, this contains an awful lot of bows. There's just 2 at the front here that have range. They're going to be shooting on these 2. The beast has moved, but because they're in a howdah, it counts as stationary for the archers. But they do hit on 5s, and that is double 6s, showing the Rangers how to do it. Orc archery there. Strength 2 on defense 4 means it's 5s to wound. Oh, not quite. The arrows just thudding into leather, which holds true at that kind of distance. Next then, we have this great beast here. And there's going to be quite a few shots coming off it. We've got those two and him. See if they can hit as well. And they're just going for the ranges that they have clean line of sight on. There's one hit, needing a 5+ again to wound, and it's a 5+! First blood for archery goes to Mordor and Khand. Oh dear, Rangers. That's then, so those 3 have shot. Then we've got those 4. They are going to volley into these 3 here. And we'll just grab dice for that. So that's those 4 against those 3. Hitting on 5s. We've got 1. Can they get a second kill? Just to really rub it in the Ranger's face. No, not quite. 1 off, getting a wound there. Final shot is the Khandish Chieftain. And he has a clean line of sight on these Rangers here. Don't think the camera wants to focus properly. This tree is a bit of an in the way, but you ignore anything that is just ornamentation on a base. And as he's in base contact with the beast itself is ignored, so he actually has a clean shot down onto these guys here. He's going to ignore Madril, and he's just going to go for one of his friends. He's hitting on 4s. No. That 1 doesn't do it, and he is not burning any might. In fact, he doesn't even have enough on a 1. End of the turn, and Mordor Orc archers have outshot Rangers of Ithilien, which is incredibly unexpected. I was expecting this to be quite brutal, at least until the lines clashed, and then Mordor might do a little bit more work. But it is still very early on in the shooting war. Let's go into next turn priority. Turn 3 goes to the Mordor-Khand alliance. End of turn 3 movement, and the great beasts have advanced even further towards the Rangers, and the chariot is bringing up the rear. The Rangers have responded by moving around to try and take advantage of cover so that the beasts can't charge them. These Rangers here have got within charge range next turn. If they do lose priority, they may well get trampled. But if they're able to get the jump on that beast, they'll be able to charge it and turn off its charges. Madril and his Rangers are just getting ready to volley fire into that beast. The Rangers up at the top have made a break for the safety of the woods, and the captain has just come round and he's getting ready to make a break for the evil camp. And that is the movement for turn 3. In the shoot phase, the front 5 archers are going to try and take out these 2 Rangers here. They really do not want to be charged next turn. How many hits? Just 1. That's statistically fairly likely there on 5 dice. Can they kill a 5+? No, a 4. Oh, with the glare there, I thought they'd done it. So close. The next shot will be this chap. He has a shot on that spearman, but he misses on a 2. They've returned to their usual form, these orc archers. And then there's these 2 at the back who are going to be shooting into that ranger there. And they both miss. Coming across to the other beast, there's 5 shots. They're going to try and help out their comrade and take out the 2 rangers that are going to charge the other beast. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. 3 hits. That is good going for the orcs. They need 2 5+s to kill both of those. 2 5+s would be absolutely insane. Oh, there's a 6. Oh, so close. A 6 and a 4. One of them goes down. Not bad shooting there from the orcs. Then the last few shots from this howdah are those 4 there against the captain. There will be a big in the way from the tree. 2 hits. These orcs have been insanely good so far. Can they get past the tree? One does there. One gets past the tree. Horse or rider? It's the horse! If this is a 5+, this would just be absolutely ridiculous. Oh, a 1 there. It's probably fair on the Rangers there that was not, not a dead horse. That would just be too cruel this early on in the game. Last but not least for the evil shooting is the Chieftain. And he is just going to take his shot straight down there on that Ranger. And another 1. He got a 1 last time to shoot as well. He is not as good an archer as standard pleb orcs. That doesn't say a lot for the Khandish Chieftain. Having suffered the slings and arrows of the Mordor-Khand alliance, Madril and his 3 Rangers are now going to show the Rangers of Ithilien how it's done and lead a barrage of fire onto the beasts. They're going to fire on this one here because they have clear shots. And having not moved, they get a decent amount of hits there. 2 on Madril. Oh, and there's a 6. So Madril there on the 5. He is going to use Might because it will transfer through to the other one. So he now needs a 3 on his 6x4 instead. Oh, and that is 2 wounds. Well worth a point of Might there to get 2 wounds on the beast. That is how Rangers do it. So immediately that beast takes some courage test. It needs to take 2 tests. Smashes through the first one for its stampede test. And it smashes through the in fact, it just gets through its second one there. That was brutal shooting there from Madril. 2 wounds off that beast, 3 remaining. Faramir and his Rangers are now going to try and shoot the same one. Faramir has his shot. He hits. Can he get the 6? Oh, no, he can't. This chap's moved. Can he hit? Yes, he does. Be very poor if he missed at that kind of distance. Oh, just a 4. Not enough. This chap is blocked by his friend. He and the banner there just keeping Faramir's horse blocked off in case any arrows came at them. So he is going to shoot into that beast. Or not. A 1. He managed to miss that big barn door over there. But there is this Ranger here, and he is going to take his shot. He's moved, so he's hitting on 4s. He hits. Oh, a 5. It doesn't quite pierce the hide there. We then have Damrod and his 4. Damrod and the 2 there are going to shoot into that beast. They've got clear shots. Ooh, they've moved unfortunately, so only 1 gets a hit. And it's just a 2, dear me. Then we have this one here shooting into the beast. In fact, he is going to shoot at that orc there who's cocky and isn't in the howdah. He's going to shoot him or not on a 1. That was not good. And then those 3 have moved full, legging it off with their captain on the flank, so they're unable to shoot. End of turn 4, both forces getting closer and closer to the foe amidst a hail of arrows. Orc archers taking their toll on the Rangers, but 2 wounds off one of the beasts from Madril's incredibly accurate and deadly volley. Let's go into turn 4 priority. And it goes to evil. After a lot of deliberation, the forces of Faramir and his Rangers are not going to call any heroics. One poor Ranger there may well get his face trampled on. But other than that, The beasts can't do a lot of damage with their movement, so they would rather get the counter charge and try and overwhelm one of the beasts. End of turn 4 move, and the beasts have advanced. This beast here trampled down with double 6 the ranger that was in front of him, but was unable to quite reach the spearmen and bannermen in front of Faramir. This beast here decided to just run as close to the enemy camp as he could go. He's trying to get into this corner. He needed to run past that little rock and shrub formation. The chariot, unwilling to commit himself, the chieftain decided he would not charge towards Faramir, where he could get surrounded and destroyed by a striking hero. He has decided to just pivot to try and head off the captain in case he made a break for it. In Good's move, that's exactly what the captain did. He's making a break for the evil camp, while Madril and his archers try and take the other flank, with Madril and that ranger able to charge the beast next turn if they're able. Faramir got the charge on the beast once the ranger and the banner had moved out of the way. They didn't risk charging the beast in case they failed their courage. The ranger that was there made the charge for them, taking out the beast's control zone. And then here, everything has just stayed still to get a volley off at the beast to try and chip some wounds off before they charge next turn. Into the shoot phase, and we'll start off with the rear archers in this howdah. There's going to be 4 shots into the captain. They're going to try and take his horse off him while he runs that gauntlet. Ooh, 2 6s. That's some good hits. Can they hit the horse or rider? So 1, 2, 3, it's the horse, which is realistically what they're aiming for. Oh, 1 on each. So on the horse, needing a 5 here. A 5! And the horse goes down. And then the one on the captain, he's got a shield, but he's not got heavy armour. 3, no. But his horse is dead. We'll do his throne rider now. It's a 6. He's absolutely fine. Dusts himself off. For that first volley, the knight has been dismounted and lacking a captain dismount that's been painted anyway. It's that warrior of Minas Tirith, but we obviously know that he is the dismounted captain. Next up to shoot from this beast, it'll be 1, 2, 3 into those archers there. Oh, there's 1 hit. Can they get a 5? No, another 4. The number of 4s these orcs have rolled to wound is sad. Then we have 2 there, and they are going to shoot into that ranger there. Oh, there's a hit. No kill there. The next beast, we've got these 3. They're going to shoot at the banner and his friend. So 3 hits. Ooh, there we go. 3 shots rather. 1 hit. The ranger and the banner. Oh, in fact, no, the ranger is easier to hit. But we'll go for the banner, otherwise they'd be in the way. But no wound there. We then have 3 at this side. They are going to go on Madril and the ranger. They're going to hit the ranger with their volley. 1 hit. Can they kill? No. No kill there. And then the 2 on the back are going to take shots at those 2 there. Not quite there. No wounds. The chariot chieftain, he's not quite able to see the captain, so instead he's just going to go for that ranger there. Is he going to get another 1, or is he actually going to do something? A 4. He does hit, wounding on 5s. Oh dear. Still no wound from the chieftain. Very successful shooting from evil. Didn't take out any rangers, but they did manage to kill the horse out from under the captain, which is quite a big deal there and takes a lot of his killing power, especially as he had a lance. So, can the rangers get some kills in return? This one here has a clear shot at the chief. He hits. Does he get past the chariot? No. So it hits the chariot. 6s by 4s. Nothing there to wound the chariot. There's then this ranger who's gotten in the way of the tree. He does hit, but he hits the tree there, unfortunately. We then have Madril and his friend. They've moved. So that's 4s. Both hit. Do they hit the chariot on a 1, 2, 5? Yes, they both hit the chariot, which is defense 7, needing 6s by 4s. Oh, there's a 6. A 6 by 3. Probably not worth it on that chariot at this stage. He's going to keep his might for getting heroic moves. Then we come over to this beast that is surrounded by archers. It's going to be 2 and Damrod. Oh dear. Damrod misses, but having stayed still, they're hitting on 3s, so that's 2 hits, needing 6s by 4s. Oh, there's a 6. Can they get a 4? No, just a 1. Gutted there for the Rangers. But they do have another 4 shots. We'll do this blue one is that chap. He's hitting on 4s because he's moved. The rest hitting on 3s. Ooh, a good volley. That's 3 hits. 3 out of 4, not bad. Can they get some 6s by 4s? No. No wounds there on the beast. And that is the end of the shoot phase. There's only one fight in the fight phase, but it is a big one. It is Faramir and a ranger who is supported by a bannerman against a great beast. And that is the beast that has suffered 2 wounds. So Faramir here really wanting to carve into the toughened flank of that beast. We'll let the beast set the bar. Oh, it gets a 6. That is the big 6 there. It's done the best it can. But Faramir has the fight value. So Faramir. Oh, Faramir easy there. He gets the 6 and he wins that fight. He's strength 4, so we just need 6s to wound. That's another wound on the beast. It's got 2 left. And then we have the spearman and the banner needing 6s as well. Oh dear. No wounds there, but that is another wound off the beast. It's down to 2 wounds. This is its courage test. Oh, just a 5. Fortunately, the army bonus comes in there, and each archer rather, on the beast, including and the captains, count towards break. So that is a whopping 11, 22, 23, which is more than the Raiders of Ithilien started with. So they get their army bonus for outnumbering, which is +1 courage. So the courage 4 driver there goes up to 5, and he passes that courage test. That is useful there. Coming in, saving his will for another moment where it could come in handy. So the beast doesn't back away. War beasts never back away. Rather, the attackers do. But they have scored a wound against that beast. It's down to just 2 now. So it's going to have to start doing some work to get its points back. Let's roll for priority, turn 5. And it goes to evil on the 6. Start the movement phase then. With evil priority, Damrod is going to spend his only point of might to call a heroic move. That is so that, oh dear, so that he can get the guys around him to charge the beasts and get the drop on them, stopping them from using their trample. This beast here, with the tree, is going to counter call in the hopes that it can at least kill those rangers in front if it wins and get into Damrod turning off his heroic move. So it's the roll off. 1, 2 or 3 it's evil. 4, 5, 6 it's Damrod. Oh, and it's a 2. The beast is going to rampage in. So the beast's move. We'll do this on camera. It pivots and charges. Hits that one first, needing 3s. Oh yes, kills them. So if you're unaware, a bit like a baby mama kill, this great beast gets 2 free hits on the charge, and if it kills them, it gets to keep moving. Oh, another 6. It's wounding these rangers on 3s. It is particularly lethal. And then into Damrod. Ooh, that might actually have killed him. It's certainly 1 wound. We'll double check that. What we'll do is fate. Does he survive? No. No, he doesn't. He's dead because he's used his might, and Damrod is dead. Oh dear. That is nasty for the beast and very unexpected. That could be disastrous for these rangers here as it ploughs over that bit of rock there. It's less than the height required, so it can keep moving. Smashed into that ranger there. Kills him. This is an absolute rampage from the beast here. Damrod really or at least he would if he was alive, wishing that he had won priority as it hits the ranger and kills him. Flipping it. That is horrendous for the rangers. Surely that rampage must end now. A 4. That kills the banner. Glad I pre-measured this. As he ends just before he hits the beast. That is unbelievable. Damrod, the banner, a bunch of rangers. That was brutal from the beast there. And with Damrod dead, the heroic move doesn't go off, so this beast now gets to move. And we'll do that as well as he ploughs into Faramir, hitting his horse. Oh, double 1s! Rubbish. So his horse is fine. Damrod himself, not Damrod, Faramir. Oh, that is 1 wound there. It's strength 6 on defense 5 Faramir. I'll just double check, but I don't think that 3 is going to be enough. No, so even though he is only defense 5, that 3 is not enough. So that is, however, a wound on Faramir, which is going to roll his fate, which is a green dice, and he fates it. So that is 1 fate off Faramir. That was brutal there from the great beasts. And we'll come back after the chariot has moved. This is how the board is looking at the end of turn 5. After that incredible trample, the beasts have ploughed into the rangers and smashed on through. Not too far off breaking, the rangers over there have decided to take cover and launch a volley into the beast. And the captain there, deciding not to play cat and mouse, has just charged towards the chariot. He's going to try and get a heroic move off, charge it, kill it, take the camp, as easy as that. That's his plan. Down here, where Faramir survived very easily the charge from the beast, he's been supported by Madril and a spearman. That's the beast there that just has 2 wounds left, so they're looking now to kill that and break Mordor and Khand. Let's go into the shoot phase. We'll start with these 4 archers here. They're going to shoot at Faramir. Oh, picked up the wrong dice there. They're going to shoot at Faramir. Even though there's going to be an in the way for the tree and for the combat, if they can kill his horse, that would be incredible. And that is a good, strong start. Flippin' heck. 3 5s there. Can they get through the tree? This is where they all hit the tree. Oh, only 1 hits the tree. Who do they hit? Do they hit the beast or Faramir? Oh dear. They both hit the beast. 6s by 4s. This would be really unfortunate. No, they don't do anything. They go through the tree, but they hit the beast square in the face, but it shrugs off those arrows. We then have this archer. He is going to attempt the same thing. He's going to try and hit Faramir, but he misses. And then, with not a massive amount of shots, there's just those 2 there into the ranger hiding behind the tree, but they both miss. They can barely even see them, so that's not too unfair there. There's then these two here at the front. They're going to drop arrows onto Faramir as well. That's one hit. Do they hit the beast or Faramir? They hit Faramir. And then horse or rider, it's Faramir himself. A 5. No wound there because he is defense 5. We'll then do these two onto Madril. Onto the ranger rather. Well, we'll keep it on Madril because it was declared, and then changed after the roll. No wound regardless. And then these two here, just going to take shots into those two. There will be in the way for the tree, and they both fail miserably there. Arrows whirling off miles away. And the last shot for the Khand Mordor alliance is the Chieftain. Can he wound the captain? He does hit on a 5. And it's a 6. That is a wounded captain. He doesn't have heavy armour. He takes a wound, which he is going to cop. He's going to save his fate. So he's down to 1 wound, 1 fate. What a poor, arrow-riddled captain. Oh dear, dear me. So that is the end of Mordor shooting. We now go into the Rangers of Ithilien. They've got several shots. Can they redeem themselves with shooting? The Rangers over here. They've all moved, so they're hitting on 4s. Only 1 hit. We'll give that chap the benefit of the doubt that he can see through there. But he gets a 1 to wound. That is abysmal. We then just have those two who have moved 3. They've got shots on the Chieftain, but they both miss. Unbelievable. That is very, very poor shooting. That ranger there moved all the way to just hide behind that tree. He didn't want to risk getting trampled next turn. So he has no shots. And that is the end of the shooting. We go into the combat phase. Just 1 combat in the fight phase, and that is Faramir, Madril, and a ranger against that charging great beast. We'll let the great beast set the bar, and it gets a 5 high. So Faramir needing just a 5 to win the fight. Oh, he gets 4, so that's mightable. What does Madril get? Madril also only gets a 4. Then that ranger gets a 2, dearie me. So on a 4 high, Madril or Faramir, Madril will waste that might just to win the fight there, as this is the beast that has just 2 wounds remaining, so they could here get the kill. Faramir needing 6s, a 1 and a 2. Useless. Come on, Madril. Double 6s will kill the beast. Ooh, a 5 and a 4. Madril will use his last point of might to get a wound on the beast. Because if this is a 6 from that ranger, the beast is dead. It's a 6! The beast is dead. What an incredible last second play there from Madril in the ranger after the big fluff from Faramir. 2 points of might from Madril, but the beast is dead. And we'll remove that in a second once everything has fallen off the howdah. That is nasty there for the models in the howdah, who, because of the distance, are going to take some hits. 9 orc archers. So these will all be rolled twice on a 5+ models die. Ooh, so that is 2 dead orcs from the falling damage, and then their second hits. 2 more dead. Oh no, that's not a 5, that's a 4, that was glare. That is, oh, not bad. 6 orcs survive, and then the orc captain, who's on top, he takes 2 hits. He's okay from the first and the second, a 4. So that will be 6 orcs and the captain surviving the fall from the beast. We'll put those in a second. Orcs have all fallen off. They're in base contact there with the beast, and the beast is then removed, and they are all prone. That is a big swing in favour of the Rangers of Ithilien, as a lot of the killing power now from the Khand Mordor alliance has crumpled into the dust. End of an incredibly savage turn 5 as the great beasts trample through Rangers, tossing them aside and crushing them underfoot as though they were nothing. Many Rangers died, but in retaliation, Faramir, Madril managed to bring one low and see several orcs fall to their deaths from the Howdah, with the rest prone. This is going to be a make or break turn 6 priority. And it goes to the Rangers. Start of the movement phase with good priority. The Khandish Chieftain is calling a heroic move. He wants to trample down that wounded captain. The captain has responded with a move of his own. And then down here, we have that captain there calling a heroic move to get his orc archers up off the floor before Faramir and co can charge them. He has been counter-called by Faramir. So let's roll off and see which force is going to go first, after which it will alternate. So 1, 2 or 3 evil, 4, 5, 6, it's good. Oh, and it goes to good. So that will be Faramir moving first. Faramir's heroic move has been quite brutal. He's tagged everything. Just put prone markers on all the orcs to remind us that they're all prone, so they are unable to strike if they win, and they'll receive double strikes if they lose. This could be quite nasty. They also, importantly, have no control zone when prone, so Faramir was able to get right into the centre and everything has been tagged. We'll then do the Chieftain's heroic move, and he is going to run straight in to the captain, which inflicts 2 impact hits. And that there is a wound. That's the 6. So he's now taken 2 wounds. He's got 1 fate, which he saved. Will he die? 4+ to save the wound. It's a 2! If only he'd not called the heroic move. That 2 is not enough. And the captain goes down. That is not good at all, and actually sees them broken and sees the chariot actually continue his move. So with his move, he is just going to pivot slightly, move to round that tree. Not measured out there because I was not remotely expecting that to happen, but that is at least under his move there. With the chariot moving up there, the Rangers are going to stay still. 1 will be able to shoot at him, and the other 2 will try and take some orcs off there to try and get closer to breaking the enemy. More importantly, they are safe in there from being trampled. The beast is now the last model to move, and he is going to attempt to get in on Faramir by charging through his own models. When he touches an enemy model on the trample, he can stop, or he can go nuts and try and crush them. So it is just a 4+. He kills him. In fact, it's a 3+. He has killed that orc. He then carries on into the ranger, killing the ranger just when Faramir thought he was safe. Faramir could have played really safe and just charged him, putting the tree between him, but wouldn't have been able to get all of the orcs tagged. So played a more risky game, but at least even if he does get hit, he'll have killed some orcs just through the trample. Will this trample kill? A 4, it does. That is 1 less for Madril to kill, though possibly now a bit dangerous for the captain, who's now fighting Madril. But importantly, the beast is on Faramir. These dice have been insane on the trample for this beast here.
realistically, it should never be making these tramples. It's been absolutely amazing. So going after the horse. A 1 and a 2. Rubbish. That horse is indestructible. But 2 on Faramir. 1 and a 4. That 4 is a wound. So another wound on Faramir. He has 1 fate left. And he saves it. So he's now out of fate. But he is still on his horse. And unwounded. And that is the end of the movement phase for turn 6. Into the shoot phase. Those 2 archers there were moving full to try and get into the camp, so they have no shots, even though they could hit the chieftain. But over here, this archer has got a clean shot on the chieftain. Hits, because he didn't move. He hits the chariot. It's not a 1, 2, 3 like on the horse rider, because it's a chariot. It's a 5+, so it hits the chariot. 6s by 4s. No, that's just a 3 there. We then have these 2 who are going to shoot just at those orcs. Both hits. Do they get past the howdah? Same thing, 5+. No, they both hit the howdah, needing 6s by 4s. Nothing at all. That is the Rangers shooting. So now we have the return fire from Mordor and Khan. The chieftain is going to shoot at the chap that shot him. He misses. We then have a couple of chaps up here. And having come over here to do some shots, just realised that this poor orc, who is prone, was pushed out of his combat by the trample there and should have been able to move, but as we forgot it and we've moved on, we will move past that. Instead, we'll have these 3 archers, those 3 there, are going to shoot at Faramir, desperate to kill that indestructible horse. 1 hit. Does it hit the combat? Oh, it gets through, so it has hit Faramir himself. Horse or rider? It is the horse. Come on, 5+. A 3. Unbelievable. That horse is unkillable. They're quite eager to kill the horse because once dismounted, unless he gets a 6 on the thrown rider, this turn he won't be able to fight back. Or at least he won't be able to strike if he wins, which is where the trample would have been really handy. Or that bow shot. But that horse is indestructible. This archer, however, oh dear, this archer, it's hard to point at the right thing when you're on camera, is going to take his point blank range shot. He cannot miss. But that 4 says otherwise. Oh dear. Next we have these 3, and they're going to go after the rangers that are running for the camp. 1 hits, no wound, and that is all of the shots from that howdah. Combat phase, and they're all around this point here near the rangers camp. We have Madril on the captain. Captain's prone, but he has no shield, so he just has to fight it. Oh, and he loses. He could spend his point of might, but he's going to risk taking double strikes. This could be a massive mistake for him. He's got 1 fate, and he does have 1 point of might. These are going to be wounding him on 5s. This could be a huge, huge mistake, and it is! Oh, the captain with might is dead. Oh, that was a huge, huge mistake from Mordor. Oh dear. Although it would still have been a 50-50 and he'd have wasted his might. That is not good for Mordor there. Losing that captain. Madril kicking him in the teeth while he's down. That was nasty. The next fight is a ranger hoping to do the same thing to that orc archer. Oh, but the orc archer wins, pushing the ranger back, and he stands. We'll take his prone marker off in a moment. And then the big fight here. Faramir. He's on the charge against infantry, which would mean he's got an extra attack. But he's been countercharged by the Great Beast, which is a war beast, which is bigger than cavalry and monsters. So I'm going to assume, although I cannot find anything in the rules to say that it would turn off that bonus. So we're going to go with logic there that he's got the 2 attacks. and it is a 5 high. So he's doing all right there on the 5. The 2 prone orcs get a 4 and a 1. And then the beast itself only gets a 4 high. Faramir there winning that fight, pushing those 2 back. And then Faramir also back because the beast doesn't move. Again, not sure that that's quite right. Do comment below if you know how that should have been. But that's probably fairly close, at least. He's then going to make strikes, and he is going to go after the beast, needing 6s. Oh no, he doesn't do it, and he's going to hold on to his might. He's now only got 2 might, and he is the only might for his force. He's going to need that to stop the trample. So that is the end of the fight phase. An absolutely brutal turn for Mordor, losing a lot of the orcs that fell from the Howdah, making some unwise decisions with the life of the captain, and the beast doing nothing there to Faramir and his indestructible horse. Let's see what happens as we go into turn 7. Oh, it's a draw, and as good had it last, it goes to evil. With neither force wanting the other to get the charge, Faramir has called a heroic move, and the great beast has countered the captain on top, urging his beast on. Roll off goes to evil. The captain has spurred his beast on, and he's going to charge. He pivots. In fact, he does not go for Faramir. He pivots around, and he is going to run over his own orc. I'm going to pre-measure exactly how far he's going to go if he can kill the orc. He easily does with a 5 and a 4, and that orc is dead. And that is because this beast is ploughing along to there. That's his 8-inch move, which takes him into just the camp. So that heroic move there has secured the camp and leaves Faramir now with the decision of whether to push while broken and potentially going to hemorrhage men towards the enemy camp, or whether he is going to fight that beast and defend his own camp. So the great beast's heroic has seen it flee the battle but get into the enemy camp. Faramir's heroic move then, he charged the prone orcs, deciding to gut them before going after the beast. The chariot has done a big U-turn all the way around there, moving 3, pivoting, moving 3, pivoting, to try and run down the 2 rangers, who both passed their courage tests and ran away, but also towards the evil camp. And also passing their courage tests, all 3 archers. This one who's not actually asleep, he is there. He and those other 2 are going to be able to make shots into the back of the chariot. But with evil priority, it will be the forces of Mordor and Khand to shoot first. We're going to start off with these 4 here. They're going to take shots. They'll be in the way of the tree, but they're going for Faramir and his horse. Can they kill that horse? 1 hit. Here we go. Through the tree. No, it hits the tree. Even if it had hit the horse, there's no way it would kill that horse. That thing has been incredible this game. We'll then volley these 3 into Madril. That's 2 hits. Oh, here we go. Could fluke it and kill Madril now. Does it hit Madril or the prone orc? They both hit that poor prone orc. Oh dear. Do they kill him on a 5+? Cocked. Yes. Oh dear me. Orcs, they're so lethal. They can even kill their own. That's not so good, but they've had a very good run so far. And those 2 are going to shoot at the one up there. This chap is just out of range, sadly. So they're shooting at him. He's in the open, but they both miss. And the chief, he's just going to shoot that chap there. Although, in actual fact, he is going to shoot at that guy because he is closer to the camp. He hits. Another 6 will get him. No, just a 3. Of course, it would have been a 5+2 wound. So now the Rangers will return fire. And it's these 3 here. They're going to shoot into the chariot. Oh, in fact, he moved. So we'll do him separately. So it's a 2. And then needing a 4 on this one. No, so that's just 1 hit. Does it hit the chariot or the rider? It hits the chariot. 6s by 4s. No, it does not get through. And that is all of the shooting, because those 2 ran full to try and get out of the charge of the chariot and also to try and get as close as they can to the camp. We then come into the combat phase. Madril has been whipped out of combat by the orc archers who killed the prone orc, saving him the brutal death at the hands of Madril Captain Killer. And instead we'll start with this 1-on-1. And the orc has won. Oh, in fact, he is the one that was not meant to be prone. We just forgot to take his marker off. So that means he does get to charge, get to kill, and he does with a 6. He kills the ranger. Unbelievable there, especially as going in. I thought he was prone. We then have Faramir against 1. Can that chap do it? No, not even slightly. Faramir there, winning on the 6, needing definitely that 5. Slaughters the orc. And that is the end of the combat. End of turn 7 sees the Mordor Khand Alliance hemorrhage orcs, but the beast gets into the Rangers camp. So this is now looking tight for the Rangers, who are broken. They need to kill that beast. The 2 there need to get into the camp, and they need to survive long enough to do that, as this game will end once one force is 25%ed and they are getting very, very close. So let's go into turn 8 priority. And it goes to the Rangers, as it was evil last, and it is a draw. End of the movement phase. The forces of Mordor and Khan decided not to call any heroic moves. And this beast here was charged by Faramir, who smashed his courage test to stay and to charge. Here, one of the Rangers did flee, but the other 2 have charged up, trying to get the chariot to charge them instead of going towards his camp. But the chariot didn't take the bait, coming after these 2, who again passed their courage tests. Here though, Madril on Snake Eyes failed, and he is gone. He failed his courage test and was unable to do anything other than flee the board after an incredible run of turns. He's killed the captain, he's killed orcs, he's done a lot. He's even got the first wound on the beast that's now dead, but his courage has failed him and he has gone. So this is how the board is looking. There's just going to be a couple of shots and then it's the combat. All the Rangers have moved. So it's this Khandish Chieftain. He's going to shoot one of them. He hits. Can he kill? No. No kill there from the Khandish Chieftain. This orc moved full. But there's these 2 here and 1 there. And him as well. So 4 that are going to shoot into Faramir. And that cursed horse that just will not die. And again, it is proving an incredibly lucky beast, as no shots hit. Oh dear. And then that tree does look like it's blocking line of sight onto those archers. So that is going to be the end of the shooting phase. We'll go straight into Faramir against the beast. Beast with 3 and Faramir on 2. Faramir, another 6 in combat. He is a beast. Can he get some wounds? 6s to wound. A 2 and a 4. Not quite. He's pushed back. But that was still a good effort there from the least favourite son of Gondor. Definitely approaching the end of the game now. We'll go into turn 9. It's another draw. So it swings back and it goes to Mordor. Start of the movement phase. With Mordor priority, Faramir is going to call a heroic move with his last point of might. The Great Beast is not going to spend its might, so that next turn it's guaranteed to get a charge onto Faramir if the game continues. So Faramir wins the right to move. His courage tests to stay. He's got an amazing courage of 6, so that's an easy win. And then his courage test to charge. Yes, Faramir is in. Up here we then have the Chariot's move. The Chariot, this has been pre-measured, gets to move 3, pivot, 3, pivot and charge. Smashing there into that Ranger. And just like the Great Beast, he has a trample attack from the Chariot. Here's his strength 4, unlike the Great Beast's strength 6. But he will crush that Ranger there on 4. And he gets it just. And that Ranger goes down. He then gets to continue on into that Ranger. Looking for 4s. He gets him as well. And then he can continue just to near the halfway point of those 2 boards. And that is Evil's move. With the Chariot annihilating those 2 Rangers on the right hand side, the forces of the Rangers of Ithilien have been 25%ed, so this game will end this turn. Regardless though, we'll do their courage test to stay. The first one, oh dear, he flees without the Gondor army bonus of courage, as does that one. Ah well, they knew the game was over. It's now just Faramir left on the board. That was unfortunate there for Faramir's force, getting wiped out, leaving just Faramir now to fight off the Great Beast and try and not give them a full 12-0 victory. This could be very, very messy now. Just before we went into the shooting phase, this Orc here did charge in and get into Faramir just to try and bring him down and end this with an incredible win. There are, however, 4 shots that can hit Faramir. Can they kill that horse? 1 hit. Come on, Archer. Let's do the impossible. Let's kill that horse. It does hit Faramir. So Faramir, as in, we've gone past the combat. We've hit Faramir. Is it his horse or him? It is Faramir himself. Just a 4. That's no wound there. So we go into combat. Then we have Faramir with no might, setting the bar at just a 3. Oh, this is not good now for Faramir. We have 3 from the beast, and it's a 4. There's nothing Faramir can do about that. Faramir loses the fight and backs away. The Orc rather, is going to go after Faramir, needing a 6. No, he doesn't get it. But then the beast only needs 4s. 3 attacks. Oh, and that's absolutely massive. Faramir is dead. With no fate left. 4 wounds. Faramir goes down. And the Rangers of Ithilien are tabled in the last turn, losing 4 Rangers, and Faramir, the Great Beast there, didn't even get the charge, and it just smashed Faramir to pieces. End of turn 9. This is how the board is looking. The Chieftain has just played quite a conservative game, staying safe. He's trampled over a couple of Rangers and defended the back. Well, the beasts have done it. They're within 12 by a few millimetres, but that brings the victory points flooding in. The Mordor Khandish Alliance have 6 victory points for taking the enemy camp, while theirs is not taken. They get 3 for killing the enemy leader and 3 for breaking the enemy while not being broken themselves. That is a massive 12-0 victory against the Rangers of Ithilien. That was an unbelievable game. The combats were always going to be a bit messy for the Rangers there with the trample, but their bows just could not cut through the hide of those beasts quick enough. So on that note, with the forests littered with the corpses of Rangers, with the Orcish and Khandish forces able to move freely through these woods towards Minas Tirith, I'll say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.